Our rights as Texans and Americans are inalienable and natural rights that come from God. Thomas Jefferson wrote that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. And at Washington on the Brazos, our Texas founding fathers included this sentiment in our Texas Constitution when they declared that all political power is inherent in the people and all free governments are founded upon their authority and instituted for their benefit. You and I live in an age where government is weaponized against the people, ushering in a globalist and Marxist agenda. Over 2.5 million unelected bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. are bypassing your elected representatives to ensure that you lose the freedom to travel, lose access to reliable energy, that your children reject their traditional family and American exceptionalism, lose the right to raise your own food, lose the right to protect yourself and your family and keep your own money, and even cook with your own gas. The federal government is systematically bribing, extorting, and threatening your state government to go along with these policies. And so far, your elected officials in Austin have failed to protect Texas. In fact, your Republican representatives have, against the will of the Texas Republican voters, locked arms with radical Democrats and put them into leadership positions in the Texas House. In January, only 7 Republicans fought against the rush to surrender power to Democrats. Ultimately, your Republican representatives put 8 liberal Democrats in charge of committees in the Texas House, 4 of whom broke quorum and fled to Washington last session. Texas can only be saved if our elected representatives in Austin stand up against the globalist and Marxist agenda that is being perpetrated by Washington. Our founders well understood that the states created the federal government and were the ultimate guardians of your liberties. Federalist 26 recognizes the power of the state legislatures, who will always be not only vigilant, but suspicious and jealous guardians of the rights of citizens against the encroachments of the federal government. We need Austin to draw a line in the sand and tell Washington in one loud voice, no. In January, we saw what 20 conservatives could do when they stood together against the Washington Uniparty, and we desperately need brave men and women who will stand against the same Uniparty in Austin. In Texas, we do not elect leaders. We elect representatives who answer to each of us. We expect our representatives to fight to keep Texas lands in the hands of Texas, stop the invasion of our border by keeping the 200,000 illegals that cross into Texas each and every month from crossing the border in the first place, fight to keep your home by abolishing the immoral and inefficient property tax system, secure our elections by requiring that voter rolls be periodically cleaned and that elections are accountable and transparent to the public. Protect your kids from being sexualized by radicals that are even now infiltrating our schools. And most of all, Texans must decide what is best for Texas and not an out-of-control and unconstitutional bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. On March 5th, 2024, you will have the opportunity to ensure that Republicans we send to Austin are actual Republicans who will fight to put the interests of Texas first. We conservatives must stand against the lobbyist-funded establishment in Austin, which empowers Democrats and surrenders our ideals, our liberties, and our property to the federal government. Stand up for Texas. Stand with me. I'm Andy Hopper, and I'm running for Texas House District 64.